Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the July 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Scorpio. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so this may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs, and see which video's title resonates for you at this time. As I said, it is a general reading, so do not try and force it to your situation if you don't feel like it applies. If it does, all the better. Just take what you feel is applicable. So before I go into the actual reading itself, I just have a couple of announcements. Before that, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing, and also sharing my videos. It means the absolute world to me to have your support. So thank you so much for taking the time to check out these videos and to also share with me your story, how it applies to your situation. I do read all of those comments, so thank you for taking the time to share that with me also. Now, the first announcement I have is that due to July being my birthday month, I'll be offering a special discount on all personal readings for the entire month. So you can now get 10% on all tarot readings, okay, when you purchase directly with me. So in order to book a personal reading, just visit my Facebook page, the link for which is in the description box below, and you can also find it here. All right. So just visit the Facebook page, have a look at the services tab to see the spreads that I provide and also the pricing, but be aware it does not include the 10% discount in the pricing, okay? So just take that in mind when you're thinking about the price there for those readings, okay? And don't forget to send me a message so I also know what type of reading you would like. The second announcement I also have is that I'll be doing a special bonus general reading for all signs on my Instagram channel. So I'm really excited to do that. It'll be the first time I'm hosting a live tarot reading on Instagram. So it's going to be so much fun. It'll be great to see you there. So if you're not following me currently on Instagram, you can find me by going to my channel. And on the banner, you'll see the little icon for Instagram. If you click that and click follow, you'll be able to follow me there. And you'll also be ready to go for when we do the live reading. So this is just a special bonus reading for all signs in the month of July. I haven't decided on a date and time yet, so do keep an eye out for the announcement video, which I will be posting on here very soon. So that's it for the announcements. So let's go into your reading then, Scorpio. So just to let you know, I'll be using a Celtic cross style spread as always, using the Wild Unknown Tarot to get the main messages, and then clarifying further with, the intuitive. All right, so just to let you know, in case people are curious, I do primarily read intuitively, okay? So just be aware of that. Okay. So I've already shuffled your cards, Scorpio, but I always like to do a couple more while we're filming. And we'll get into your reading. So what's going on for you this month? Whew, okay, straight off the bat. Big changes. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's a very crazy time for a lot of people, actually. There's a lot of things coming up to the surface. A lot of karmic situations that are being closed out. A lot of shadow work needed at this time, so I'm not surprised that there's some really strong things coming up for all of the signs so far in the month of July. It's a lot of introspective work, a lot of healing, a lot of emotional grounding, and self-love required at this time. Okay, right, I think I got your spread. So let's go into it. Scorpio. So in regards to your present circumstances, you have the Tower, right? So this is kind of your energy anyway, Scorpio. All about significant changes. You know, it's the destruction of the old to make way for the creation of the new, right? It's never a kind of finality, right? It's just making way for something new, something stronger, more stable, positive, right? So there is some significant shift taking place in your life currently, Scorpio. I feel like you may even find that in your connections, right? that certain connections are being drawn to an end. You are literally cutting certain people out, maybe. Certain connections are changing shape and form. So it could be that a serious communication comes in that completely shatters your perception on what you thought the connection was, right? I feel like there's going to be some significant shifts when it comes to your environment as well. There may be some significant changes when it comes to your job. So we'll look at that when we clarify. So in regards to your challenge at this time, you have the moon card, Pisces energy. So you could be dealing with Pisces. I also associate it with the energy of Cancer. Now, with this being here in the position of your challenge, it's like overcoming the fear of the unknown, what is hidden from you or seemingly hidden from you. You know, whatever prevents you from taking this significant action or any fear around this unknown energy that's kind of pouring into your reality at this time. Like I said, there's a lot of shifts, there's a lot of changes taking place. So there may be some fear surrounding that because you're energetically feeling it and you know something significant is about to occur. But you may have some fear surrounding that because you're not sure what it is. You may feel like there's certain things that are not being revealed to you at this time by certain people that you feel like, you know, that information is valuable. You need it in order to make an informed decision on something significant in your life, right? So again, when we clarify, we will get a better insight as to what that could be. In regards to your recent past, you have the Mother of Pentacles. So this is Queen of Pentacles energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You may have found that choosing to detach from certain connections or certain situations that cause you to doubt yourself, that cause you to second guess your capability, second guess what it is that you bring to the table, has really allowed you to nurture yourself. It's allowed you to pour a lot of time and energy into your own healing, into really doing the inner child work possibly as well. And as such, you know, your divine feminine aspect is pretty on point. Like it's very much in control and is really helping in this process, this alchemization of, you know, past hurt, wounds, childhood traumas, you know, things that were detrimental, that were learned behaviors, thought processes, things of that nature. And you really became like a mother figure to yourself in this time. So when you needed time to yourself, needed days where you just kind of switched off from the world and really go within and just allow yourself to be, that really did you a world of good is what I'm feeling. You know, like it was something that was really significant and needed at that time. And now as such, you're ready to take on whatever this tower moment will be. And I feel like it's not something that's going to be detrimental for you, even if it's heavy and if it's like dramatic. I feel like it's something that's going to serve you in the long run, right? So in regards to your near future, then you also have the King of Pentacles in reverse, Father of Pentacles. So you have the Mother in your recent past, and then you have the King in your near future. So that's a very interesting combination. As I said, I feel like your divine feminine's on point, but now it's having to take on a new aspect of healing, where I feel like a lot of energy, time, and effort went into healing not only your divine aspect, but divine feminine aspect, but also doing the inner child healing work. I feel like now you're addressing the imbalance when it comes to your divine masculine aspect. So you may have felt like you've had to overexert yourself, particularly if it's related to work. You may have felt like you have to regain control over certain situations. You may have even become a little bit bossy in places, maybe a bit domineering, very stubborn, set in your ways, not open to new ways of doing things. Is very critical of others when you feel like you're being undermined in any way, things of that nature, right? So you'll get to a point where I feel like you may come to realize that maybe you've been overexerting yourself, and maybe you've been getting a little bit cranky when it comes to your work because you've been overworking yourself, or, you know, putting too much on your shoulders, right? Where you could really do with that additional support, and understanding that it's okay to seek help, right? That you don't have to do everything all by yourself. Okay. So in regards to your feelings, then you have the Six of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So you're trying to, I feel like you are trying to detach from certain ways of doing things that you know is detrimental to you, that you know just makes things very heavy, very difficult, that can be problematic in certain situations, that causes some friction as well. So I feel like you're trying to leave those thoughts and behaviors behind so that, you know, the energy can be lighter in your environments, right? And that, you know, people see the lighter side of you, not just being in like, you know, this very rigid structure and being very serious all the time, right? Seeing the light-hearted aspects of yourself. And I think that's where the inner child work is really going to pay off. That's where you're going to see that really play out, right? Because you've invested time into healing your inner child. So it allows that to come out, right, to the surface. So people do see your light-hearted and fun side, you know, this magical energy that you have. That's what really magnetizes people towards you. This joyful, pleasant, positive, light-hearted, warm energy that you have, right? Not the hard, you know, corporate aspect of your character, right? Even if you're not working in any kind of corporation or anything on a business related level, on, you know, in that kind of environment, it's still that kind of energy that's coming through. So I think you're aware of this and you're feeling that that balance needs to be restored, and that's what you're going to be focusing on. Okay. So in regards to what's crowning you at this time, you have the Hanged Man. Okay, so this was within your power to affect. So it's knowing that you can always make a choice, right? No matter what the situation is and how it plays out, no matter how seemingly impossible it is to make a decision, to act, to take a path, right? You always have a choice. And it depends on how you choose to view things as well, what you choose to put your energy and attention into, as well as your intention, right? So clarifying your advice, well, the card for your advice here, sorry, is the Death card. So this is your energy, Scorpio, right? And it's suggesting that with the Tower and the Death here, it's like you need to allow this transformation to occur. Whatever you find difficult about this situation and whatever is about to play out, it's okay. It's kind of a part of the process. So just allow yourself to feel whatever you feel, but understand that this is absolutely necessary. This huge shift that's taking place, this massive change, it is absolutely essential. So you have to allow it to happen. If you fight against it, it's only going to delay your progress, right? So move with it rather than against it. In regards to your external influences, so this can be this can be situations, environments, people, places, right? Everything surrounding you externally at this time. You have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So I feel like there is a lot of introspection and assessment taking place over what is fulfilling and what is detrimental, what is aligned with your energy and what isn't, right? And I think a lot of the people that you've been interacting with are also doing similar kinds of work, right? They're also having similar assessments over whether or not their connection with you is aligned, and their connections in general, not just with yourself, but also how they feel towards you, and if it's valid, and if it's coming from a balanced perspective, or if it's coming from situations that played out in the past that are no longer relevant, right? So there's a lot of introspective work going on, and I feel like energetically you're feeling it, and so the people that you're dealing with are as well. There is this call to really detach your emotions from theirs, their energy from yours, and see things for what they truly are. What is it that you're trying to manifest, in terms of your emotional fulfillment, your abundance? What does it look like? What do those highly positive connections look like, right? So it's taking significant connections that are in your life and assessing where you're at with them, right? So it's pretty much that energy. In regards to your recent past, what am I talking about? I don't know. In regards to your hopes, you have the 7 of Cups. So water energy, your energy, as well as Cancer and Pisces, right? So I feel like with this being here, it's like you're already thinking about this. I feel like this is a big theme for you because there's a dramatic shift. There's something significant that changes in your environment. It has you opening up and considering what would you like to be doing instead, or what would you rather invest your emotions and your attention, your time, your passion into instead, or maybe even additionally, right? So you're really going to be thinking about it, trying to get to the heart of the matter. Like, how do I truly feel about what's taking place? How do I really feel about what I want? Do I still want the same things that I wanted in the past, or has something changed? Particularly with this, the moon and the Tower energy and this Death card, right? Significant changes, right? How you feel, especially when it comes to your shadow and your unconscious self, is going to be very different to where you're at months ago and years ago, right? There has been a significant shift. So maybe the things that you want and the things you felt like were holding you back has changed a lot. It's not the same case anymore. You're not in the same scenario, and you certainly don't see it the same way. So now is a good time to reassess what it is that you want and how you want to approach it. In regards to your fears then, you have the Fool card in reverse. This has been a theme that's come up in so many readings so far, the Fool card in reverse. Everyone's afraid to take this plunge, right? And this is Aries energy, and I'm not surprised this has come up because we have Mars in Aries right now, right? Mars in the sign of Aries. So there is a lot of conflict, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of desire to move forward and agitation towards feeling like you can't, right? But at the same time, there is hesitancy, there is fear because of the unknown, because it's not, there is no surefire way to approach something. There's an element of risk. There's a significant amount of risk involved with certain actions. So I feel like everyone who is getting this energy is very on the fence and feeling very anxious because they're feeling this drive, this push to move forward and take this plunge into something completely new, that will take them down a new path, a new journey, right? But there is fear surrounding that. So we'll have to see what that could be in relation to. And now finally, in regards to your potential outcome, you have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So Earth energy again. It's like, you need to move forward. There's certain things you're like, okay, right? I can either be in damage control and just kind of patch things up and hope everything kind of just stays the same without there being too much chaos and too much falling apart. Or I can actively go after what it is I truly want, make significant changes, be adaptable no matter what is thrown at me, and see what I can build further, what new foundations I can build, or how can I restructure so that I'm not having to worry about loss. I'm not having to worry about, starting over completely from scratch, right? So it's a big, there's a lot of assessment taking place for you, Scorpio, because something in your physical reality is shifting dramatically. So I feel like there will be an element of loss there, possibly nothing that's going to really rattle you, but I feel like there is this need to release of the release of something in order for this newness to come in. So yeah, let's have a look with the intuitive to see what else is coming up here. But yeah, straight away, it's exactly what I was talking about. Okay, so let's have a look. You're having to surrender something. because it's time to let it go. So we'll have a look as we go on. Either you have to surrender it, or someone you're dealing with has to surrender something in relation to you. Wow, okay, so we'll see. Okay, so clarifying the Tower here in your present circumstances, you have the Ace of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the loss I was talking about. Leaving something behind, losing something, some foundation coming down, crashing down. So something that maybe you thought was stable for a long time, right? Particularly if it's a romantic connection or something that you're very passionate about with your work is changing significantly. Maybe a project has been pulled. Maybe you've been made redundant. Maybe there's been some other financial losses and they're having to reduce your department size. Maybe the funding isn't there, and you know, if you had an investor for your business, the funding's been cut. And you know, this was something that meant a great deal to you. This is something that was, you know, part of your dream, your vision, right? So with this change, this sudden change, this being cut off or being told that the funds or the resources that you once had is drying up or is no longer available, that will cause a significant rift, because now the solid foundation you thought you had is no more. So you're having to rebuild in, you know, a new foundation, not starting completely from scratch, because you already have the skills, you already have the know-how. It's just you cannot rely on the foundations that you previously had. If this is a connection with that Ace of Cups, it could very well be a relationship or someone that you were in a relationship in, or you know, you've been wanting to be in a relationship with. Yeah, someone felt abandoned, or someone is going to feel abandoned because someone is choosing to end the relationship, right? Or if this is a case of the ex, it could be that this past person that you felt abandoned you is coming full force straight towards you and saying, I want to be with you. You're my 1 cup. You're my 7th cup. You're the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. So it can go either way, right? Depending on your situation. In regards to your recent past, the Queen of Pentacles here, you have the 9 of Swords in reverse and the 3 of Cups in reverse. So you got 3 and 6 there. Sorry, 3 and 6. 3 and 9 there. So you have 6. Yeah, you understood the need to go within and do this inner work. Like I said, especially healing your inner child and your divine feminine aspects. And as a result, that helped you overcome your stress, your concern, your feelings of lack of worth, or lack of capability, right? Questioning your, you know, your ability to carry out something, your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, to create whatever you want to create, to be completely independent, right? You've overcome that, and understand that you are your biggest ally. You can encourage yourself even if no one else is supporting you in the way that you needed it, right? And that gave you a serious amount of strength. That showed you that regardless of anything that's thrown at you, you are more than capable of handling it, right? So in regards to your near future, clarifying the King of Pentacles in reverse here, you have the, unbelievable, wow, the mirroring. So you have this, you have the 9 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. So we have 3 this time. Interesting. So yeah, this is fire energy, of course, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So with the 6 and the 9, you get the 3 of Wands as well. So this is it. You're looking at, okay, I know I need to, you know, rein it in. This, you know, bull in a china shop kind of energy. and just see that actually I'll be best served if I just take a step back, you know, allow myself to feel what I'm feeling at the moment, because you're going to be wounded by this situation. I feel if it's in relation to your work, right? If you feel like you've lost a significant project, resources, funding, right? Your job, then obviously, you know, the Nine of Wands energy makes sense. You're going to be like, holy crap, what just happened? You know, I was so strong, everything was going so well, and all of a sudden, like, I'm having to fight for my job, I'm having to fight for this project. You know, I'm having to assess where to go from here, if it's worth fighting for, if I just pack up my stuff and go. Like, it's that kind of energy. But it's also knowing that regardless of whatever you choose to do, in the end, you'll be victorious, right? That there's opportunities elsewhere, even if the one that you really wanted isn't panning out at this time. There's always opportunities, right? For something new and more stable. So either way, you're going to be fine, is what I'm getting at. And especially if this is in relation to a relationship as well, I feel like you're understanding that, okay, this is not what I wanted and it's difficult, but at the same time, I know it's for the best for me, you know, and for the person I'm dealing with. Okay, so in regards to your feelings then, the Six of Swords, you have the Emperor in reverse, more Aries energy, so you could very well be connected with an Aries of some description. And you also have the Justice in reverse, so Libra energy, that could be relevant also. So you could be dealing with two different energies here, two different people, a Libra and an Aries, right? But not necessarily, that's just what's coming up here. But I feel like in regards to your feelings, it's like, you know that you may have been head honcho once, you might have felt very much on top and very much in control. You're seeing now that if you're coming from that really sort of authoritarian energy, that in the end, things are going to come crashing down, and you'll see that you're only as strong as, the Emperor is only as strong as his empire, right? So if he hasn't got his you know, if he hasn't got his citizens, say his, you know, the people of his empire, you know, the republic or whatever, if they're not on side, if they're not in agreement, if he hasn't won them over, and he's just cracking the whip, eventually he's going to come crashing down. His empire will come crashing down. So maybe you're realizing that maybe you pushed things too hard, or maybe you demanded too much, or maybe you didn't spend enough time showing appreciation, and now it's forcing you to look back and, you know, rethink how maybe you'll go about this next time. Also, I think with this energy here, Justice in reverse, it's like you may have felt like this situation was unfair, that you were doing everything you can to keep things afloat, to make sure that the business stays very much afloat, or to prevent it from coming undone, you know. You may have even had to make some very tough decisions, and that's why you're being you feel like you're being punished for it in some ways, because you made the tough decisions that no one else was willing to make. And as such, you're like, well, screw it then. Like, if my efforts is not being rewarded, if my efforts are not appreciated, when I did everything I can to keep us afloat and no one else was doing it, and yet I'm the one that's being penalized, then I'm just going to go off elsewhere. I'm just going to focus on what I can build for myself elsewhere, because there's obviously nothing here worth me fighting for at this point. For others of you, it's a case of, you know, you felt very much out of control in this situation. You felt like no matter what you did, you couldn't balance things out. You couldn't get things to work out in a way that was going to be fair for all, right? There was always someone that was going to be screwed over, and you feel like in this case you were the one that was chosen to be cast to the side in some aspect, right? And now you're just trying to move away from the turbulent situation and towards a state of calm, right? Away from the chaos. Interesting. So it's going to be different. It's different messages there. It's different for different people. Okay. So in regards to what's crowning you at this time, the Hanged Man, you have the Empress in reverse. So you've got the Emperor and the Empress as well. Okay. So some of you, this is definitely, you know, a karmic situation that's playing out within a work dynamic, right? And that's having you reassess the divine balance within yourself, the feminine and masculine attributes. For others of you, this is definitely a soul level connection that's made you confront various things about yourself and the types of interactions you're finding yourself in over the course of your life, as well as this need for control, power, and trying to find that balance within the power dynamic, right? But anyway, so you have the Empress in reverse and you have the Five of Swords in reverse, okay? So more air energies, and that is Taurus, okay? So you could be dealing with the Taurus as well, having in your chart. Regardless, it's a case of you have a decision to make, because as it stands, you know, neither of you are in, you know, are really operating from your higher aspects, right? Especially, like I said, if this is a relationship, I feel like you're both taking a hit from whatever situation is playing out at this time, this separation, breakup, or the desire to overcome challenges that occurred from a breakup in the past. And you're trying to find a way in which you can discuss and confront the issue without it becoming a conflict, without it becoming a battle for who's right and who's wrong, who's in charge, who isn't, you know, without it becoming this power dynamic that keeps taking place over who's dominant, who's the alpha, and all the rest of it. Even if you think that sounds strange because it's not the kind of terminology you've ever used with one another, that's still kind of the energy, the dynamic that's taken place. It's like a power struggle between the two of you. So it's coming to the realization that actually you need to come together as a unit in order to resolve these issues, right? But the choice is yours, whether or not you do that or you choose to just part ways completely. For others, as I said, if it's work related, I feel like you're having to assess whether or not it's worth challenging and appealing a decision, or if it's worth just focusing on healing yourself, focusing on where you feel like you need to be and how you can best continue your self-development and going that route. So it just depends on which situation is playing out for you at this time. It could be all of the above even, all right? So clarifying the Death card here in the position of your advice, your energy, Scorpio, okay? You have the Magician and you have the King of Cups. This is powerful. For you, this is the perfect combination at this time, Scorpio. The Death card, the King of Cups, and the Magician. It's letting you know, like, listen, this transformation, while it might seem like something that's detrimental for you, it's actually exactly what you need and what you've asked for, right? You wanted certain changes in your life. You wanted certain things to play out. And while it might be a difficult situation and it may seem like it's against your better interest or, you know, your wishes, it's actually serving you in the long run. It's helping you to get into the position of the Magician so you can manifest significant changes, whether it's more love into your life, better stability, emotional connections with your teammates, your partners, you know, business partners, being able to appeal to people on an emotional level, but still be very much grounded and in control of your emotions, and not letting people get a rise out of you, not letting people make you feel incapable or inferior simply because you decided to actually take on other people's help or assistance, right? Understanding that you still have power within the situation, you're still very much in control of your emotions, and that it's good to reach out when you need help and to, you know, it's getting into the true essence of a leader, right? that maybe you was in a leadership role, or you're in a leadership role, but this energy was not present, it was off, right? And that was what's affecting your ability to lead in this situation. And maybe it's been come into question. But now you have the opportunity to get into this space, so that when you're truly aligned as your true energy, the King of Cups here, Scorpio, right? And you allow this transformation, this deep level transformation to take place, this calibrating, right, of your energies, then you can manifest some serious changes, right? Because change is taking place regardless in your life. Okay, so you'll have more control over the types of things that begin to manifest in your life, because you'll be aligned with the right energy. So that's important to be aware of. Okay, so in regards to your external influences then, the 10 of Cups in reverse, you have the 10 of Wands in reverse. Wow, okay. And you have the 7 of Pentacles as well. So this is your external influences, as I said. With the 2 10s there, that's already telling you, with the 10 of Cups in the reverse and the 10 of Wands in reverse also, that's like telling me that you're on the cusp of experiencing a new cycle, right? And it's something that's really going to help you grow, right? It's something it's helping you on your growth journey. While it will present challenges for sure, and that there's a reason certain connections, certain environments are changing, and some connections are coming to an end entirely, and others are just being shifted about, changed, transmuted, right? Changed, transmuted. It's all to help with this process, with your personal growth, right? So that you can invest more of the right energy in the right places. So like I said, I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, but you're going to see some significant positive results, right? So before I carry on, to clarify the position of your challenge, the Moon card here, you have the Lovers in reverse, so Gemini energy, could be dealing with a Gemini, and you have the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, so I think the challenge here is coming to understand, that yes, the fear of the unknown can be very overwhelming, especially when it comes to you're not sure what's happening with a relationship, you don't know what's actually the motive behind a significant change in your work environment, right? Is it because of resources, or is it because there's an ulterior motive taking place behind the scenes through the people that are in charge and that are telling you this, that, and the other? Are they being sincere, or is there something else motivating their decisions behind this? Because they're aware that you're very skilled, right? But I think you're afraid that what they're telling you is not coming from a genuine place, and that they're serving their own best interests, right? When I'm talking about the workplace. When it comes to a relationship that's coming undone, I think you're afraid that this person that you're dealing with has decided that they need to put themselves first, and they choose to work on their own progress, their own self-interests, right? Rather than investing further in this connection, even though there is love in the situation, right? If this is someone coming back from the past, and I feel like you're aware that the person has been putting a lot of work into their healing, and that's why they're coming back around, because they feel like they're in a better position to offer you the love that you didn't feel like you received in the past. And just feeling that energetically and seeing them interact with you more and kind of hinting at certain things before they actually reveal their true feelings may have you a bit uneasy, because you're not sure how to process this information. I feel like if it is someone from your past saying, I want to give this another go, it's going to be a big shock to your system. Like, if this is someone saying this to you, like, I want to give us another try, it's going to be a shock to the system, is what I'm getting. Okay. So going over to your hopes then, the 7 of Cups here. You have the King of Swords here. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius could be dealing with a Libra or a Gemini strongly. You have the Tower as well again. Wow, okay. Woo. So yeah, you're hoping that, oh my God, that this significant change that takes place is going to serve you well. It's going to put you in position of authority, power, that you are in control of your destiny, that things are just not shifting around you and seemingly against you, but things are shifting under your command and for your best interest, right? That's why you're thinking about what is it that I want, because I want to make sure that any tower moments that take place moving forward are, are serving of my interests, and that it doesn't, put me in a messed up position, but I remain on top regardless. So yeah, you're not messing around, no bullshit kind of energy is coming from that. Crazy. Okay, so yeah, you're getting very assertive, is all I can say, Scorpio. Okay, so in regards to your fears then, the full card in reverse, you have the Ace of Wands Ace of Swords in reverse, and the Sun in reverse. So Leo energy could be relevant. But yeah, so you're not wanting to, you have fear around this change of direction, this leap of faith that is required, because you're worried that if you take this new route, if you take a risk, no matter how calculated it may seem, it would actually be at your detriment, right? That it wouldn't be in your best interest, that you wouldn't remain on top as a result. It would be a gamble that you feel you would lose, right? And it will just put you in a position where you'd feel even less happy than you already do right now with these significant shifts. Particularly, like I said, if that's in relation to your work, you feel like, well, if I just go branch out on my own, or if I just go seeking a new business partner or seeking a new partnership, new deal, new project in some capacity, new occupation, how the hell am I going to find myself in the position I was in, or even better? I don't want to settle for less than what I've already accomplished, but there's always that risk going out and starting over pretty much, that I might have to start from scratch, and that's not something I want to do, because I've already put so much work into getting where I am. So I don't want to start at a point that is lower than where I've already accomplished, like what I've already accomplished, right? So that's what I'm getting from that. If this is in relation to taking a leap of faith in a relationship, yeah, this is something that you're feeling very uneasy about. You're not convinced. And I think it would take you a little bit of time to be convinced that this is this is the right idea, right? That this is the right choice to make, right? Okay, and finally, in regards to potential outcome, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Moon card again and the Fool card in the upright. I cannot make this shit up. Like, it's ridiculous. So you have the Moon card and the Fool card twice, and this is as your potential outcome. So it's like, essentially, it's like the message here is nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? It's like, yeah, there's always a risk involved. There's always the unknown, the uncertainty. Something really, truly magical and positive can happen, or something scary and, difficult can occur. There's always an element of risk in all that we do. However, if you really want to take life by the horns, if you really want to be in that, driver's seat, then there has to be an element of risk taking, right? A calculated risk, sure, but there's still an element of risk. You still have to take on that adventurous spirit, look at it almost like through a child's eyes, and be willing to just put yourself out there and see where it leads. You don't know until you try, right? And that, yeah, you might have to tap into your, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the daydreamer kind of energy, like tap into that energy more. Because while people might be like, oh, this is foolish, this is ridiculous, like you're being overly optimistic, you're living in a dream world, like how are you going to make that happen? Well, funnily enough, dreamers, it might not happen eventually, but usually they end up making shit happen one day. So you do have to be a little bit of a dreamer at times, and I feel like that's what you're being called to do, to come out of that, hard rational, sort of energy where it's very authoritarian, and into this more carefree, free-spirited kind of energy where you explore your passions, you look at things from a more magical lens, right? And just allow your intuition, and your passion to move you forward. So that's awesome as an energy. I really like that as a potential outcome. So, Scorpio, I hope that helped you anyway. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And don't forget to hit the notifications bell, because that will notify you as to when a new reading goes up on the channel. But for now, sending you lots of love, lots of support in this journey. Don't forget, you've got this, okay? So you don't need to stress and feel like you have to project a certain image. Just, go with your intuition and do what feels right in your heart, okay? Let your heart be the guide, not your brain in this time. So sending you lots of love, and I hope that, things will feel a little bit less turbulent for you in the weeks to come. So take care. Speak to you soon.